First start, get your name and all that.
Yep, my name is Susan Bertrand.
And you are with?
I'm the president and founder of Maureen's Hope Foundation.
First, talk about foundation first, what you guys do.
So Maureen's Hope Foundation, we're actually celebrating 15 years this year. We help patients that are battling cancer and other life-altering illnesses.
And how do you help them? What do you do?
We have a lot of practical support programs that we do. Cleaning services, meals, we help men, women, children. We actually have a program called the Beads of Courage that we brought to God's honor about 12 years ago. Rosie is actually in our Beads of Courage program. Children get a bead for every treatment they go through, every chemo, every x-ray, radiation. It's a way for them to record, share, and tell their story along their journey.
And you mentioned Rosie, so what's going on today with Rosie? How'd you find out about it, and how'd you get the process going and all that?
So I first connected with Rosie when she was diagnosed with cancer over a year ago, and Maureen's Hope has been there to help her throughout her journey. And then in August, she found out her cancer was back, so in September we reconnected with them. And so Rosie has a long treatment plan ahead of her, and her mom had actually sent me a note about 2 weeks ago and said that, you know, Rosie talks about being a policeman, and every day she's talking about police officers, and would I know one that she could meet? So I said, certainly I do.
And they responded to you pretty quickly, right?
So I reached out to Mike Leffenjack, the police chief of Baldwinsville, and within 24 hours he had today all planned.
That's pretty quick.
Yes.
It's pretty amazing that they would do something like that.
Yes, and so what today is going to be about is making a memory for Rosie, and a memory that her and her mom and her family can have and hold on to. No one can ever take your memories away from you. It's something you have forever. So she goes inpatient tomorrow, so hopefully you know, if she wakes up in the middle of the night or she's having a bad moment, she can think about today with some hope and some smiles.
Do you find that having those memories, something special, a day like that, really carries people through these types of treatments?
Absolutely. I always say, I think connection is vital to our existence. And I think today, Rosie feeling the community support, you know, the army of love that surrounds her certainly makes a big difference.
Talk about Rosie a little bit. You've known her for like a year now?
So I have known Rosie, since I heard about her when she was first diagnosed.
What's she like? What's her personality?
Actually, Rosie is a spunky-spirited little girl. So I knew she would be happy and excited to do this today.
This is the first you heard of the police officer thing, though? This like, just like a new goal of hers? So she wanted to just meet a police officer, and today she will actually be inducted into the Baldwinsville police office. So, and she'll have her own uniform. Great.
Okay. All right.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who I haven't had the opportunity to meet, I'm Mike Leffenjack. I'm the Chief of Police here in Baldwinsville. We'd like to welcome everyone here to the village this morning. It's a great day in Baldwinsville here. We're going to be in a couple minutes swearing in our youngest officer ever here in the village, and we certainly want to thank everyone for being here. We've got a number of our current members, many of our retired and past members as well, along with a lot of other partners and friends that have chosen to gather, and we appreciate the media's involvement also. I'm joined up here this morning by Susan Bertrand, who's the founder and president of Maureen's Hope Foundation here in Baldwinsville, and of course Mayor Dick Clark. And Rosie and her mom, Ariana, and her grandmother are sitting up in the front row as our guests of honor this morning. How this will work is Sue and I will say a few words this morning, and then we will be available for immediate inquiries after, along with Ariana, Rosie's mom. And at this point, I would ask Sue Bertrand to say a few words and kind of talk a little bit about Rosie and her background, and then how we got to this point today. Sue?
Thanks, Mike. Good morning. I'm Susan Bertrand. I started Maureen's Hope 15 years ago. We help people in the community facing the challenges of a cancer diagnosis or other life-altering disease. And we first met with Rosie when she was diagnosed over a year ago. And so Maureen's Hope has been there, you know, with the family to support them along their journey. And when her cancer came back in August, we found out that she had 43 weeks of chemotherapy and radiation ahead of her, you know, after a surgery that she had in September. So she has a long journey ahead of her that's inpatient, and her mom, Ariana, had texted me about 2 weeks ago and asked me if there was any chance I might know a police officer, because Rosie talks about police officers and wanting to be a police officer, actually a WEAS officer, every day. And she said this is a really random question, but if there's any way she could meet a police officer. So I reached out to Chief Dr. Jack, and within 24 hours, Mike had all of this in place. So we're very grateful for you making this happen today. And I always say memories that you make are something that no one can ever take away. So, when Rosie's in the hospital later this week and, if she's having a bad day or wakes up in the middle of the night, she can think about today and have this memory and feel this connection of love and support from the community. So,
Thanks so much, Sue. You'll notice all of our officers here today, we're wearing our Beads of Courage, which is a program that Morning's Hope is involved in. And every time one of their cancer patients has a treatment, they receive a bead for their courage, and we're very proud to be participating in that. And Sue mentioned that within 24 hours I had this put together, and really I can't take credit for that. Obviously I work with some incredible people, and I must give credit where it's due, and Officer Andrea Natoli, Officer Jennifer Quattrini, Officer Bob Thibault were integral in putting this all together today to ensure that it's a memory for all of us here, as well for Rosie. When I talked to Sue and heard about Rosie, and one of the things that I was struck by was her bravery and her determination. And I immediately thought that those are two incredible qualities to have, and those are two qualities that are very much needed to be a great police officer. I've been harping on the mayor and the village board for some time that we needed to expand our police force, and this is obviously the way we're going to have to do it, and we really wanted her to be a part of our department. And without further ado, we will have Rosie come up with her mom, and I'd ask Mayor Clark to read her oath of office. And I must credit the Colorado Springs Police Department for the oath. We borrowed it from them, since we saw that they had a young member join their force a few years ago. Rosie, could you come up here and have our officers come up with you? Mayor, would you step right over here?
Rosie also has her Beads of Courage with her today.
Come right over here, Rosie.
Where did you find such a small uniform? Please post it. All right, I'm going to read something, and at the end, I'm going to ask you to say yes, okay? Ready? Rosie, you promise to be a good citizen, listen to your mom and dad, and be good to others. Promise to eat your vegetables and hug your parents. You promise to be brave, and promise you'll always remember you're loved by many, and that you are now a member of the Baldwinsville Police Department. Can you say yes to that? Can you shake hands? We'll seal it.
All right.
Welcome to the Baldwinsville Police Department.
We do have a few gifts for Rosie. In the back, we've got a poster and a blanket that all of our members have signed welcoming her to the department. We're very pleased today to be joined by Chief Paul Waltz and some of his staff from Upstate Hospital. Rosie's first assignment that we're going to give her is going to begin a little bit later this week. She'll be on patrol down at Golisano Hospital, and the only way our officers patrol is in a police car. So we do have a police car for Rosie to patrol in. If we could bring in the car for Rosie. And that car comes equipped with lights and siren and everything an officer needs to be on patrol.
We'll put you in it and we'll turn the lights and sirens on.
We'd really like to thank Rob Levine at Final Designs for the car's logos, as well as Mrs. Phyllis Letizia for our seamstress work for the uniform. Rosie's going to be on patrol. I'd like to thank everyone for being here. It's a great day in Baltimore.
That was too fast. Come on, keep going. One more.
If I could just have our officers that are present come up so we can get a picture with Rosie, have Rosie sit in the car, and we'll all gather around her.
And Rosie's showing her beads. So these beads, every bead stands for a treatment, a radiation, a chemo, an X-ray, and she has way too many beads on her.
Here, let me hold your beads till you get in. You want to put them right on your lap? Right there. Hold them up so they can see them. Stay a little heavy. You want to put them up here? Here, we'll put them right here.
Very good, perfect. Chief Michael Lefferchuk. I'm on CHAELLAFCN CHECN.
tell me about how your approach about Rosie and what response team came from?
Bertrand called me up a couple weeks ago, told me there was a 3-year-old girl here in Baldwinsville who was battling cancer, and talked a couple times a day to her mom about wanting to be a police officer, and asked if there was some way Rosie could come down and meet some of our staff during discussions with our staff over the next 24 hours. Once we heard about Rosie's bravery and level of commitment, we knew we wanted Rosie to be a part of our department, so we quickly started putting together plans to have her become a member of our police department.
From what I understand, you just wanted to really meet the police officer. Why did you feel it was appropriate to go above and beyond to something like that?
We just know that somebody in the Baldwinsville community is battling a tough disease, and we want her to know, and the community to know that she's a part of us now, and that she's got a lot of people that care about her, and this was just our way to show them that. It truly is heartwarming for us. This is Thanksgiving week. All of us have a lot to be thankful for, and for us to be able to brighten a little girl's day, it's the best feeling we can possibly do.
What does it require to be a police officer? I see you guys have gifted her own, police car. She's got the outfit.
She's got the uniform. She's got the car. She's got handcuffs. We're going to station her at Golisano Children's Hospital later this week to be on patrol down there to make sure the doctors and nurses are doing everything they're supposed to be doing. So we're counting on her to be on patrol down there.
You think she's going to be a quality officer for your department?
Oh, I think she's
talk about that extension.
I think she's going to fill a much needed void in our department. We've been looking to add more staff, and this is a great way for us to get it done. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Without a doubt, we've got a number of officers here, and everyone wanted to be a part of it. It's Thanksgiving week. It just it's totally heartwarming for us, and makes us really appreciate what we have, and let everyone in the community know that she's part of us now, and hopefully we're part of her. What are her duties? Well, she's going to be stationed at Golisano Hospital in upstate. She's going to be responsible to make sure that the other patients and the doctors and nurses down there are doing everything they're supposed to. And we're counting on her to do that. Oh, she's on patrol. She's got handcuffs. She's got everything she needs.
5243-6918.
Thank you.
Okay, and let me get